Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 10 Premium Heavy Tank, the MBT-B. Now if you do like the video as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the MBT-B is a tank that a lot of people received for free a long while ago, and when it came out it was alright, it wasn't anything special, and then they buffed it. When they buffed it, they made it a lot better, and it was a very, very competitive Tier 10 heavy tank, and was fully enjoyable. I really liked the vehicle, I thought it was perfectly balanced, and it didn't really need anything else. But then, recently in the recent balance patch, they also buffed the MBT-B up again. So what did they do to the MBT-B? Well, on this vehicle, they ended up buffing the rotation speed on the tracks, so it turns a little bit quicker left and right. The rotation speed on the turret also got faster, which I'll take, because you know me, I like faster turret rotation than the tracks, but there we go. And on the 120mm gun, they nerfed the reload slightly from 9.9 seconds to 10.3, but upped the alpha from 430 to 450. And that 450 is very, very impactful on this MBT-B. It hits very, very hard. Did it really need that? No, not really, to be honest, but there we go, they've done it. And so the MBT-B is a lot better now, especially than it was before the patch, because that slight nerf to the reload doesn't make up for the fact that 450 is very, very impactful. And now it's the unique one, because there's not many tanks, if any, in the game that actually have 450 alpha, and I'm pretty sure on 120mm guns, yeah, don't have 450 alpha, so it's weird. Weird, but there we go. The MBT-B is an absolutely fantastic Tier 10 heavy tank, to be fair, and again, it's one of those tanks that's a good all-rounder. It's got pretty decent mobility, it's got pretty good turret armour, unless they catch you on the left-hand side of the turret, but it's weak spots, it is what it is. It's got a very accurate gun that you do not need the gun stabiliser to use to be able to get the best out of this gun. You've got pretty solid DPM, you've got good aim time, you've got good power to weight, so you hit that top speed at 40. You got fantastic, and I mean absolutely immense view range, so you outspot everything very, very easily as well, so you can get very good assistance damage games. It's just one of those tanks that as an all-rounder, it is very, very good at what it does. So you've got a 40km/h top speed in the MBT-B, with 15km/h reverse speed, 1000 horsepower engine, which is 16.67 horsepower per ton ratio, which means you get up to that top speed very easily, and with a 1.91 soft terrain, 1.06 on medium, and 0.99 on firm, with a little bit of help from off-road driving. Those terrain resistances do not hold the tank back whatsoever, and you are a very, very mobile heavy tank. You got 20% internal fire chance, which is on the high end of fire chances, and generally it does get set on fire quite a bit, depending on where you get hit, but generally I don't suffer it that badly. It's usually when you get shot in the rear is where the fires start to happen. You got 36 degrees a second on the track traverse, which means that it does turn pretty quickly on its tracks, with 550 meters of view range with the build that I run. 550 is absolutely immense, and it means that it can spot for itself incredibly well, and it means that you outspot things very, very easily. You devalue people's camos very easily, and the stealthy tank destroyers don't stay quite as well stealthed against a vehicle like the MBT-B, because that view range is so overkill. It's better than most of the light tanks, which is a bit bonkers realistically for a heavy tank, but there we go. We've got 37.66 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed, which is slightly, ever so slightly quicker than the tracks now, which is nice. 0.54 accuracy during rotation and a 1.41 accuracy during movement is absolutely fantastic for a tank that's not running the gun stabilizer, and it means that you don't have to run the gun stabilizer whatsoever, because this gun is near enough fully aimed in all the time anyway, with just running the gun perks on the crew. And add to that, you've got a 1.81 second aim time. That means that even if it does aim out, or bloom out, I say, a little bit, you have fantastic aim time, which means that it doesn't take long at all to get the gun going on target. 0.27 accuracy at 100 meters is also supremely accurate, and as you saw there, it very much goes where you've aimed it. I aimed it straight at the gun of the SU-130PM, and that's why that HE round did nothing, because I hit the gun. Poor aim, realistically. And we've got 10 degrees of gun depression, which, like you're seeing here and like you've seen in this game so far, means you're incredibly flexible on a ridgeline, and it's exactly where you want to be in Mr. MBT-B, and you can farm away very, very easily on these ridgelines with that flexible 10 degrees of gun depression. You got 7.32 second reload, which is 3.6, nearly 3.7k DPM, which is very nice for a higher alpha gun like this 450 alpha gun that it's got now. So 3.7k DPM is fantastic, and it helps you farm pretty consistently, with 265 pen on the standard AP and 330 pen on the premium heat rounds, 90mm of penetration on the HE, means that you've got very good HE rounds for 550 alpha, and they will do a lot of damage, and they will pen a lot of lightly armoured vehicles like most of the artilleries and stuff like that. 330 heat will butcher everything you ever want to face, and 265 pen on the AP will go through most things as well. If you can't go through them with the 265, you just fire the 330 heat. 1200 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP is fantastic, and way above average for an AP round as well, which is quite nice. And 1000 meters a second shell velocity on the heat rounds is on average, which means that you do have to give a decent amount of lead with the heat rounds, and especially when you switch between AP and heat, you will feel that. But generally, the velocity is also pretty nice for the tank, and you don't have to give too much lead distance. So as you saw in that game there, we ended up getting shut down as a Death Star said, "Hi, I have AP that hits hard." Took most of our hit points and we got hit by the Chaug on the move, but we did finish the game with the first class, the high caliber. The Confederate medal was 6.7k damage, 1404 assistance damage as well. Really nice game there for the MBT-B on that map, which was highway. And like I said, that probably showed off the tank well enough anyway, in the fact that the mobility is great, you've got a fantastic gun handling, the DPM just helps you to farm consistently, and your armour works well enough until a Death Star says hi to your lower plate, which we're probably lucky that he didn't kill us, because he could have fired Hesh and it would have been even worse. But hey ho, I didn't expect the Death Star to just be sitting on the corner waiting for us to drive around the corner, you know, and then the Chaug on the move, full snap of the turret hitting us too. But is what it is. RNG says RNG, and it giveth and it taketh, and it's a cruel mistress at times. So, what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment to get those statistics that you've heard about on the old MBT-B? Well, I run a pretty standard crew, really. I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Track Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving, with the Advanced Loader, the Optics and Vents. Optics and Vents to get the best out of the DPM and the view range as much as I humanly can do. The Advanced Loader to get the best out of the DPM. All 3 gun perks so that I don't have to worry about running a gun stabilizer ever, and this gun is as fabulous as it is. And Off-Road Driving just to get the terrain resistances down a little bit so that I can get up to my top speed with relative ease. Now, if you wanted to, you could quite easily drop Vents, or even Optics, to be honest. You could drop one of them and run something like the traction system, and you would go at 44 kilometers an hour. If you really wanted to be out there and outlandish, you could also just drop both of them and go traction system and powertrain, because if you were to do that, you still have 488 meters of view range, which is a fully acceptable view range for sure, but I just like having that insane view range. But then that way you've got 46 kilometers an hour, and you're extremely mobile in that regard as well. But yeah, I run the Optics and the Vents just to get the best out of everything on this vehicle, and it helps me to play it the way that I do. But yeah, the Optics and the Vents, very easy to drop out, and at the end of the day you could also just drop out Optics and just have 500 meters of view range with Vents in, and the Vents also helps keep your accuracy during movement and rotation down, which obviously helps the gun handling. And then run something like the traction system go at 44, or run Advanced Armour and put Armour angling on, reduce the amount of damage coming in by 10%. There's plenty of ways you could set up this vehicle. It's really down to you and how you want to play the tank, and it is a very, very flexible vehicle in the way that you want to set it up as well. So, we're on this second replay, and the second replay is on the brand new map, the community map, which is Death Valley. And on Death Valley so far, we're up to 858 damage. We won the little battle in this little valley section, or this little divot, wherever we are. And I decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to go up on top of this hill if I can get shots on the 2598, or so if I can't get shots on the 2598, which I can't. So we're going to go up here and climb up to the top, because it's one of those things, we're still learning with Death Valley. We have absolutely no idea what's going to work and what's not. It's just one of those things. We've just got to take chances and hope for the best. So we're going to go put pressure on the FV225. If we can get rid of the Gorilla 15, that would be glorious as well. I'm not sure the Gorilla 15 knows we're coming. 450 Alpha, we should kill this guy in one shot. And with the FV225 dropping down and the Gorilla looking the other way, we should be able to drive around the corner and low roll. Thanks, game. Woo. So we should have killed that guy most of the time with our standard round and our standard roll for 450, which is what we have now. But no, we rolled for 410 and left him on 10 hit points, which meant that the Gorilla could turn around, snap us for 750, and we lose a load of hit points, which is just RNG giveth. It's a cruel mistress, you know. RNG giveth, RNG taketh. So we try and get a shot into the T-58 Heavy as he was crossing the open. Unfortunately, did not get that shot in. And we seem to be in the perfect little defensive position that we've got here. That hits. Well, I mean, the fact that bounced, sure. But the fact that hit, okay, sure. The Waffle E100 ends up driving off and getting himself killed. And now it's us against these 3 tanks, as the other TDs, I'm pretty sure, are down in the dip. I'm not sure if they're actually down in the dip or on top of the ridge. Not 100% sure, but it is what it is. We managed to get the shot into the Gorilla 15 to finish him off. And if I could finish off this FV225, that would be great as well. But I really don't want to take the double barrel hit. So we're just being as careful as humanly possible, using the dead wrecks to our advantage. We see the T-58 Heavy, who is the other heavy tank, and he is currently climbing the hill as well, which is not good for us. We've really got to be careful about that. Thankfully, we bounced the round from the T-58 Heavy. He bounces off of us. We take a hit from whatever is down below. The FV225 gets shut down. We are face-hugging this T-58 Heavy to make it as difficult as possible for him to be able to pen us. And thankfully, he ended up bouncing off our turret front, and we managed to end up getting the shots in to secure the kill on Mr. T-58 Heavy. And for a very short second there, we were in a 10v2. Now it's a 9 versus 2. Oh boy! Great times. The 259A is attacking, so we put a shot into the side of the 259A. It's probably a fairly lucky shot to actually pen that, as we're more likely to go through the upper plate aiming like that. And there we go. We finish it off Mr. 259A. And it's me and Mr. Gorilla against 8 tanks. And again, if they cap, they win. Simple as. If they cap, they win. But we're in a great defensive location. I'm not willing to give up a defensive location and get into the really open plains that are down below us, as I feel like that's not going to be good for us, because if we get outspotted, we can get shot from everywhere, whereas here, I can control where and when I'm going to be attacking people, where and when I'm going to be defending against them, and where and when people can actually shoot me. So we managed to kill the 780 as he was crossing the open, because Mr. Gorilla ended up spotting him. The Gorilla is also pressuring the SFAT 105. So we want to help this Gorilla out as much as possible, get a shot into the SFAC, which puts him down to a 1-shot now for the Gorilla 15. And we are detected, we're not poking all the way over on this ridgeline, so that makes me think that there's possibly something out there that is currently looking at me, and there we go. It's an E4, but he gets spotted by the Gorilla, who is doing the perfect job of spotting. We ricochet off the lower plate of the... Oh, okay, sure. We ricochet off the lower plate of the E4, aim the next shot into his lower plate, 444. Oh, a satisfying roll, 444. Hit him for 444, hoping that, again, he keeps getting lit up by Mr. Gorilla 15. As long as this Gorilla 15 doesn't die, we will be able to assist him, give him the assistance damage, and be able to get rid of these vehicles. So we aim for that drive wheel. We're hoping to track and pen the E4 there, but it doesn't quite come off. I really wanted to get rid of that E4 before he got unspotted, because it's a very deadly target to leave alive. But now with the SFAT getting shut down by the Gorilla 15, I think, okay, it's been a while. I'm expecting something to pop up on my left-hand side, so I'm just going to go double-check, you know? You can never go wrong double-checking. And as we do that, we come across Mr. ST1. As if by magic, there is something actually starting to creep up on us on the left-hand side. It's something we had to go double-check, because, yeah, we didn't want to get caught out and have a tank up in our advantageous position here on top of this little hill, or cliff, or whatever it is, this outcrop. So we're going to go try and angle for a better position using the terrain to get shots into Mr. ST1. There we go. We see him. We put a shot through the upper plate, because at this kind of angle, we can shoot straight down on top of his upper plate and go through. We know with the shot that the ST1 also fired there that we had the opportunity to go over and put a shot in. We get hit, though, for about 390. By something from the distance, and I'm looking at it going, what was that? Has the SFAC moved all the way over there, or was that a near high roll from something like the Chrysler K? Well, I'm not going to poke over going for the shots into the ST1 again, because, well, as you just saw, we're going to get shot in the side by whatever is over there. But the ST1 actually manages to crest over and spot us, so we're just going to, with him coming up this hill, maybe we can maneuver into a better position to find a shot into him. But with the Gorilla 15 watching that ST1 on the climb, and he can kill him in one shot, what I'm going to do is keep the defensive section here for the Gorilla 15 by watching his butt on the right-hand side. And we end up finding a Chrysler K. So that was probably the SFAC earlier on firing APCR that did actually pen us in the side. He'd just relocated that far. We've loaded heat rounds now to guarantee shots into that Chrysler K, because every single shot is now going to count. Whatever shot at us from the left missed, so we're just going to take the opportunity to get a cheeky shot into the Chrysler K, putting him down to a possible one-shot. And we're up to 6.8k damage with 4 kills. And we are really in squeaky bum time. So we're going to go around, see if we can secure the kill on Mr. Chrysler K, see if he keeps going, which he does. And like I say, he is a guaranteed one-shot unless we're extremely unlucky. But, well, even if we're extremely unlucky, we should still kill him because I don't think we can roll that low. So I'm just watching Mr. Chrysler K, and he seems like he's just going to drive around the corner. Which, yes he does. And with heat rounds loaded, I thought maybe I'd go through the cupola of Mr. Chrysler K, but it doesn't quite come off like that. And with him firing, I was thinking about just driving down to get the kill. But once again, I don't know whether there is anything in the distance that could be shooting at us. It's a big open plain. The E4 might still be alive and get shots at us. We don't want that. So with the ST1 now finally getting shut down by the Gorilla 15, I'm going to poke over this ledge and see if I get spotted. And that's the whole point of this, is just to see if I get spotted. Because if we do, that means there is something within range that will be able to get shots at us. The Gorilla 15 is currently tackling the Chrysler, and the Chrysler ends up missing his shot on the Gorilla misses his shot. So, you know what, with not getting spotted, we're going to chance it go after the Chrysler, but the Chrysler ends up giving us his side armour, and with the heat round, it goes straight through, securing our 5th kill of this game. There's still an IS-4 out there, there's still an E4, and there's still an SFAC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go poke over this little ledge and see once again if I can spot anything that is climbing the hill to attack us. And in fact, I have. It's Mr. E4. That shot goes where? Okay. Okay. Sure thing, game. Okay. But with the SFAC also pushing over, that means there's nothing, unless the IS-4 is somewhere, because we have absolutely no idea where the IS-4 is, because he's just not been spotted at all in this entire fight. But with the SFAC 105 pushing up, that means there's nothing in the distance that could also get a cheeky shot in and shut us down, because we are a one-shot. So I'm trying to angle for a better shot on the SFAC, and we get extremely lucky there. I thought the E4 had backed off all the way, and then we get very lucky that E4 shoots the dead wreck of the ST1, because he could have killed us quite easily there, and we managed to secure the kill on Mr. E4 for 7.8k damage. That could have gone so wrong. But like I said, I thought the E4 had backed off, so I was trying to angle for a better shot to secure the kill on the SFAT 105. But with the E4 now dead, I thought, I wonder if the IS-4 is coming up behind us, or if the SFAC has run round the other side, because the SFAC was running away off the hill when we were coming round. So we're just going to poke over and see if we can find anyone, and just like that, we found the SFAC 105, and we finish him off for our 7th kill of this game, up to 8.2k damage. And there's only one tank left, which is the IS-4, which we have absolutely no idea where he is, and me and Mr. Griller here have done a job. We've done a job here. We've put the team on our back, we've strapped them on, and we've gone, right, let's carry this. And we've gone from a 10 versus 2 situation, 9 versus 2 realistically, because 10 versus 2 was very short-lived, but, you know, we'll take it. A 9 or 10 versus 2 situation, down to a 2v1. I'm a one-shot for the IS-4. The Griller, I'm pretty sure, is actually not a one-shot. He's a two-shot for that guy. So as long as the IS-4 isn't too healthy and is not in a position that's going to farm us, we should hopefully get into a good situation and win this game. Because to lose now would be just sad times, right? You'd be gutted to lose at this point. So the Gorilla 15 is just marauding across the open. I was thinking about going around the back of these cliffs, which should keep me safe if I was to get spotted out in the open. Because once again, Death Valley is brand new. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going, what I'm doing, what's safe, where the sight lines are. So you want to be taking every precaution you humanly can do to just not take hits. So you can see me using the rock cover on positions in case we get lit, and then we can just pull back and get ourselves safe. But like I said, the Gorilla 15 is actually the king for this kind of moment, because he's got good camo, he's got good view range, he's got amazing mobility, and he's got a big gun. So trying to find another heavy tank on a map like Death Valley is perfect for that kind of tank, whereas I've got to trundle along, and if I make a mistake and drive out into a wrong spot, it's not going to go too well for us, is it? Because we'll just end up getting shut down. So we're just going to, we don't know where the IS-4 is, so we're just progressing towards the cap. That's what I'm going for, is to progress towards the cap. If we don't find the IS-4, I can go sit in the cap, and by doing that, hopefully the IS-4 would then appear somewhere. But the Gorilla 15 finds the IS-4 down in the dip, and I'm looking to see if he's moving. But he doesn't seem to be reacting to the fact that he's just been shot by the Gorilla. So he's actually AFK, and a sad end to it realistically for this guy to be AFK. But we get one shot into his side, putting us up to 8.6k damage, and the Gorilla 15 shuts down that 10v2 to finish the game with a fantastic total there for the MBT-B, and that was just one of those games. One of those games where we just had the perfect intuition to keep switching from side to side to go and try and find other tanks in case they were attacking us, and we just timed it perfectly. And finished the game with the Devastator, the Ace Tank of the High Caliber, the Steel Wall with the Top Gun, and the 1849 base XP for that 8.6k damage and the 7 kills. A fantastic game for the MBT-B, which has been buffed and is a really damn solid tier 10 heavy tank. And yeah, just one of those games that you sit there going, whoa, when you win it and you end up at the end of it, you go, wow, that was a game. That happened. Yeah. It's always nice to occasionally win those 10v2s. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!